What's up guys, welcome to our channel. My name's Carissa. In case you're new, my husband and I just found out we are going to have our embryo transfer, our first ever one, on December 8th of 2020, next month. We are so excited to share it with you. It's been a long 6 years of infertility, 6 IUIs, 2 miscarriages, 2 IVF cycles, 1 that failed, and to get here kind of just feels surreal, and we're just so grateful. So I'm excited to share that with you, but there is a lot that I want to get to before we get into the embryo transfer stuff. We're actually starting our real, the shots on Thursday, so this is crazy. There's a lot that I want to cover and get into because I know that doctors do things differently. Our first IVF cycle was so different than this one. I'm going to do a vlog series for you. So this vlog right here is going to be all about our IVF prep work. The consult, my hysteroscopy that I had never had done until 5 years of infertility, and my 3rd fertility doctor. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. We're grateful to be back on YouTube, especially after a crazy year that everyone has gone through. So let me get into the diagnostic testing that they wanted me to have done prior to deciding if we needed IUI, IVF, or if we needed to do something else. A baseline ultrasound and in-office labs. So December 4th of 2019, so almost a year ago, we had our very first appointment with Dr. Riggs. Not the consult, we did that prior, we've made a vlog about that, but I had my ultrasound to check my uterus, my ovaries, everything looked good. Any additional labs like vitamin D, AMH, thyroid, PCOS, stuff like that. Genetic screening tests, so we could choose whether or not we wanted to do that. Because of our history, freaking Rory, because of our history with miscarriage and our, poor results with our IVF cycle previously with the last clinic, we decided we wanted to do that. I also needed to do a hysteroscopy, which I had never done before. Had no idea it sucked so bad. A semen analysis for Brian. He's done those before, but it was his first one with this clinic. And then a regroup follow-up to decide what we're gonna do. Okay, so the blood work that we had done, or that I had done, was, I have notes here, testosterone, prolactin, hemoglobin, glucose serum, DHEA sulfate, progesterone, vitamin D, the ovarian assessment report. So that included AMH, ERS2, which was like how many eggs I think you would get with egg retrieval, E2, is that what that says? I can't read my writing. FSH and LH. In addition to the ABO group and the RH type. Obviously, I wasn't gonna find out the results then. I was like, all right, let's do this. We're gonna go right in for IUI. That's what we were thinking. We thought, okay, we've been pregnant on our own, after our failed IVF cycle. We can do IUI and we'll be fine. Because we also got pregnant with our 5th IUI with our first fertility doctor. Little did we know at our next appointment that I would find out some news that wasn't going to lead us down the IUI path. Couple days later, go in for my hysteroscopy, my first ever hysteroscopy. So this is now December 9th. So hysteroscopy. So what that is pretty much the worst. It's like you're going in for a pap smear. They put the speculum in you. They open your cervix up, right? They put something else in there. And I think that's when they either use air or they use like a solution and they expand your uterus. And you start really cramping. Pretty much it sucked. It was so painful. But I was sweating profusely and I was like, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna pass out. One of the nurses came over and was holding my hand. It was so bad. I had no idea. I went by myself because I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad. I knew it was gonna be painful, but I was not ready for it. So for those people that are like, you know what? I hardly felt anything. I don't know, man. I don't know how you did that, but that's amazing. That is not me. A poor clinic. It was so bad. So after the hysteroscopy, I did survive, by the way. I am here. Hello. After the hysteroscopy, I went into another room with the nurse, and that's when I got the results from the blood work from the previous appointment. And they told me the levels that were not great, of course. They're like, well, forget the good stuff. Let's talk about the bad stuff. So the stuff they wanted to cover, my vitamin D was 37, my ovarian assessment report. That was the big kahuna. That was the one that was like, oh, dagger in my heart. I know that my egg quality and my egg quantity were already low, that if it dropped much lower, it was gonna be even harder. Not saying it's impossible, because really, let's be real, God is bigger than everything. My AMH had dropped quite a bit. So with our egg retrieval, with our IVF cycle in New York, I think it was 1.4, 1.6, something like that. I found out that my AMH dropped down to 0.72. And that was just like, oh my gosh, I hurt so much, because then I knew IUI was not an option. Now, what does that mean? Why does that matter? Well, because my nurse is the one that told me that, not the doctor, she can't diagnose me. But I asked her, does that mean I have diminished ovarian reserve? And she agreed that that was I probably did. I have a lower chance of success and a higher chance of miscarriage with being diminished ovarian reserve. I left that appointment just totally defeated, totally heartbroken, and you can watch it on my Instagram stories here. I am at Blue Sky Fertility, and I'm getting ready to go in for my first hysteroscopy. So I took, let's see, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen at 2:30. So I guess I had to take it like half an hour to an hour before. Oh, look what happens when I wear my sunglasses. My dang makeup. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, and I could only eat breakfast and then drink water. So I'm starving. I'm so hungry. I'm not starving, but I'm hungry. Anyway, and in all of our years of infertility, of all of our treatments, I know there's a lot of people here that don't really know what we've been through. 6 IUIs, 1 IVF cycle, 2 miscarriages. I've never had a hysteroscopy. So, I'm not looking forward to it. I'll be honest. I'm not looking forward to it, but it needs to be done. You know, it needs to be done. Who knows? It could be fine. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Okay, let's go in here. I'm wearing my Amina Hope necklace. I'm nervous, but I'm excited to see. Hold on, the camera. So that sucked. The pain sucked. It was fine at first, and then it just sucked. But it was okay. I almost passed out. Apparently, I was supposed to eat lunch. It was a misunderstanding. So that's yeah. I did get some blood work back, my ovarian stuff. So I'm kind of emotional about that. My AMH has dropped quite a bit. Pretty much IUI is probably not our option. It's going to be IVF. I guess it really was a miracle that we got pregnant on our own last year. And, you know, 1 year ago tomorrow is when we saw our baby's heartbeat. I don't know. We've been so hopeful that it's going to happen again. But, you know, the realities of everything are just IVF. I mean, if you've been through IVF, you know that it sucks. I mean, it doesn't really suck. Like, it's awesome to have the opportunity to, I mean, it really is. Like, it's amazing to be able to have the opportunity to do it and to have that medicine, you know, that technology and whatnot. But we have some deciding to do. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Coke from McDonald's and had a headache all day, and yeah. Anyway, estrogen is high. It should be 50, they said, and it's like 130, which I don't know what to do with that. Anyway, so I'll look up what I can. I may ask Dr. Google. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know. My AMH was it was 1.2 something when we first started. It went up to 1.4, and now it's freaking low. And anyway, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. It's just the realities of infertility, right? Like, if you've been here, you get it. I walked in there like, did not expect that. That's for sure. I did not expect that. I knew my AMH was low. I didn't know it was going to drop that much in a year and a half since our IVF cycle. Man, okay. Anyway, it'll all be okay. Like what Brian was saying on the phone. It'll all be okay. It really will. It's all going to work out however it's supposed to. Just sucks right now. The next appointment, I wasn't by myself this time. Brian actually came because he needed to get some stuff done too. Can you believe In 5 years at that point of infertility, Brian had never had blood work done. And so we went on December 18th of 2019, and they had a bunch of blood work done for both of us. Well, the DNA karyotype testing, communicable, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, diseases, that was tested. We were good there, negative for everything. And then Brian also had a semen analysis, which he's done those plenty, so, I mean, have fun. Let me explain what the DNA karyotype was. So we decided, like I said, to do it just because we had been through, 2 miscarriages and a lot of failures of IUI and an IVF cycle. So we went through SEMA4, that was what our clinic used. And like I said, I'm not a professional, but I'm just gonna read to you what this pamphlet says. So carrier screenings is a test that analyzes the DNA to see if you are a carrier of a genetic variant that could cause an inherited disease in your children. So I read that it checks the size, shape, and number of chromosomes. And then what else did I read in here? I did the expanded carrier screen. And so that tests 280 different conditions to help you with your family planning. We did find out with the SEMA4 carrier screen, genetic carrier screening, that we both are carriers of different genetic conditions. I think 1 or 2. One of us is a carrier of 2, the other one's a carrier of 1. I don't remember which. We had to wait for the results to be able to move forward and have a regroup appointment. So on January 6th of 2020, who knew this year was gonna be this way? January 6th of 2020, we had a regroup appointment with Dr. Riggs at Blue Sky Fertility, totally not sponsored, but I do love them. I think they are great. I think I met Brian there and I was super nervous. Oh, I was so nervous. Finding out that my AMH had dropped in half in a year and a half, I know that we need to get this ball going, right? Like we need to get on the road, we need to get this party started. And so I wanted, if we were going to do an IVF cycle, I wanted to know that it wasn't going to be a waste of my time. And he said, no. Is it going to be more difficult? Probably, but it's not impossible. We left the appointment contemplating what we should do, really sitting on it. We sat in the car and we're like, okay, IUI's off the table. What about IVF? Later that night, we decided we're gonna do IVF. So we let them know the very next day, but we weren't sure when. We were like, okay, well, we'll get on the calendar in May or something like that. And then like the rest of the world, life just kind of stops because of coronavirus. And so they got shut down. Fertility treatment wasn't considered essential. Like so many of us have gone through, I mean, whether your egg retrieval, you're in the middle of a cycle and it's totally canceled. I don't know what happened to people that were in the middle of cycles. Fortunately for us, we weren't in the middle of anything, but we just couldn't schedule anything. So we had to wait until they were officially open to actually get on the calendar. So at that point, we got on the July calendar. We were at the end of July. So that is when our egg retrieval was, our stem cycle, all of the things. But in May is when we were able to start getting back into some additional testing, because that's not all we needed to have done. Don't worry, don't worry. I started some extra supplements. So they recommended a bunch of supplements for me. And then I started taking some other ones. And I took those for a minimum of 3 months. Okay, I thought I would make a quick story. I'm so awkward of just showing you guys my supplements, and then tomorrow we can talk more about it. Since it's 10 p.m. and I'm 90 and need to go to bed. Gross. So let me flip the camera. Hold on. Okay. So there's my vitamin D3. I am vitamin D deficient, and then I take magnesium for my headaches. Low dose aspirin, so baby aspirin because I have a blood clotting disorder. Here is the fertility supplement that I take. It seriously has all of the goodness in it. I will link this one. I got this one from my fertility doctor. I could ask for a discount code if you guys want me to. Let me know. This I also got from my fertility doctor. He says that this is like the magic one. Brian, what was that?
I just want to know if you were showing him the snake oil.
Brian tried catching it before Instagram cut him off. By the way, people want to know why you're always ornery on my stories.
Because I got to deal with you.
No, you just don't like it when I catch you off guard. Okay, so the Ovocytol is good for your egg quality. I take this every night. This is what I take every day. Anyway, if you want, I don't have discount codes for these either, but I do have a link for this one, so I'll link it. Oh yeah, we have Brian's doctor appointment tomorrow too. So he's gonna have some testing done to check his like DNA fragmentation and stuff. So, so score, we've never had that done before. So, woo. Guess where we are? Brian's inside and I'm in the car. He's having a test done. So we'll see what they say about his swimmers. Come on, swimmers. How'd I go, babe?
Really, really well.
Sick. Good job, honey.
My temperature was high.
Oh.
Because we've been moving. I barely passed, I think.
Really?
It was like 99.8.
Oh no, so they almost sent you home?
They almost sent me home.
Oh. And then Brian also had an HbA semen analysis done. Now I don't really know what that is fully, but I have a pamphlet, so let me read it to you. Provides an easy, reliable screening of mature, high-quality sperm in a sample. Male patients with a low binding score or less than 65% will benefit from a sperm selection in the Pixie dish where only mature, good sperm will bind to a drop of HA, ensuring easy selection. I got his results right here. Okay, so I'll read those to you. But like our entire 5 years of infertility, he's never had this done. Not even with our our IVF cycle with our last clinic. And our last clinic, oh my gosh, when we had poor fertilization, they were like, okay, well, maybe we'll just try another egg retrieval and we'll do half brain sperm and half random sperm just to see if it's a sperm issue. No, that's not how this works. We don't do it that way. Oh my gosh, just makes me crazy now. And it did then. Anyway, so I got a call from my actual doctor. Dr. Riggs gave us a call. And maybe it was because of the results. So his results weren't terrible, but they weren't great as far as binding goes. So on the pamphlet, it says 65%, then they recommend it. But Brian's percent bound was 76%. And it did show on here the recommendations were Pixie. That is eventually what we did do with our egg retrieval. On my notes, at least for my doctor, when Dr. Riggs called, he said binding sperm are more likely to be genetically normal. That is all the testing that we had done. So we had a bunch of blood work done. I also had some additional blood work done at my actual endocrinologist. So fertility doctors, reproductive endocrinologist, and then I went to another endocrinologist who was checking my thyroid and a bunch of stuff done that I know that Dr. Riggs's office wanted, like a full thyroid panel. And so instead of having that done at his office, I had it done at my endocrinologist. I had the bunch of blood work done that I'd never had done before, a full ovarian assessment. And I don't know if I missed this because I tried to record this and I accidentally recorded it without recording earlier today. Like I didn't hit the record button. But they estimated that they would get about 9 eggs based on my results. Did my ultrasound. We did a hysteroscopy, which freaking sucked. And after 5 years, it was my first one ever. We did DNA karyotype testing, semen analysis, and then the HbA. So those were all of the things. And like I said, Brian had never had any type of blood work done before. And he had never had anything additional, like extra, more in depth as far as a sperm test goes, to like check his DNA and to check whether we needed Pixie, to check his binding, nothing else. So like we would have had no idea had we not done these additional tests. After we had all of that stuff done, we had our consult at the beginning of July over FaceTime, because that's what you do in 2020 right now with coronavirus and just life being crazy for everyone. What's up, guys? Our IVF cycle is in a little more than a month. Can you believe it? So we just had our consult with Dr. Riggs. It went well. We are right now debating between doing PGS testing or not. We are going to be doing ICSI and PICSI. So what else? I don't know our protocol yet, but I'm going to try to reach out and see if I can get some more. Hopefully, obviously they have to come up with it soon because I have to buy my medication. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous and I'm excited, and it's we're getting closer, y'all. We're getting closer. We talked over, the IVF cycle process. I had all of these notes done. That took how many months to get to that point? Again, had things been different this year, it would have been sooner. But yeah, we're grateful. And now we've had some amazing results. Our doctor did some very thorough testing on both of us, and we're so grateful because we feel like it really helped us determine that we did need to do PICSI. We were going to do ICSI. We did oocyte activation as well with our egg retrieval, but we'll get into that with the next vlogs. But because of all of this, we were able to figure out how to have the best possible outcome. And so we are so grateful that our doctor took the time and went above and beyond for us. Our transfer is December 8th, so please keep us in your prayers. If you're going through infertility, I want you to know we're also thinking about you and that you're not alone. We love you guys. Again, if you haven't subscribed, do so below. Like this video, follow us on Instagram at CarissaBarZ, and we will talk to you guys later.